Good morning, everybody. I think. Let me look at my clock. Actually, it doesn't matter because that clock isn't even right. Hasn't been functional since I got it. That's my computer clock, by the way. It's way down there. Anyway, it's been a long time since I've done one of these. So long, in fact. Look at my hair. I call this Nana hair because it's the same hair that my grandmother has. I call my grandmother Nana. And what is going on with the grandma names? How come there's so many different ways to address your grandparents? You got Nana, Grandma, Grammy. That's good. Three's the list. Once you get three, it makes it a valid point for anything. Anything can be valid for three. Alright, so I was watching some of my older videos when my hair was about here. Yeah, like halfway up the forehead. And I was just too much swinging of the arms. I've got my arms crossed now. I can't promise that they're going to stay subdued like this for the entire video, but this is definitely going to be a more relaxed video because, I don't know, yelling at the camera, complaining about rich people. What is that? Who does that help, really? And plus, they just love the attention anyway. They feed off of that shit. So I'm going to do a little bit more relaxed. This is how I am normally anyway. I'm not all jumpy. Unless something really exciting happens, which is pretty uncommon. So, you can tell from my new voice, my radio voice, that we're going to be slowing down. I'm going to do the airline captain voice. If you look out to your left, you're going to see a nice soothing pasture. If you look out to your right, you're going to see a relaxing waterfall. And if you look forward, you're going to see the back of your seat because I'm the only one who has a windshield. The back of the seat front. You get it? Anyway, how cool would it be if you were flying? I've always wanted to do that. You know, like most people, you never get that experience to see out the front of when you're flying. I've never done it. I'm 28 years old. I've been on a plane 14 times. Could be right. I made that number up. I don't know if that's accurate, but I'm going to roll with it. All right, so a subdued video. We're going to be relaxed. We're going to be cool. We're going to be chill. And also, I've got a list of prompts here to make this a little more interesting, to keep the ball rolling. And as you can see, I've got three things that I want to talk about. First one is a story from a long time ago, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. I went to a Chinese grocery store, and let me tell you something. There is nothing fouler in terms of smell than a foreign marketplace. I don't mean I went to China and went to a grocery store. I mean I went to, actually I think it's a Korean. In any event, it was some grocery store that had lettering on the sign that was in one of those Asian languages where it's shapes and lines and not really normal letters like we're used to over here in America, where we do things right the first time. But anyway, yeah, this was some lettering. It looked like Korean. Korean's kind of boxy, right? It doesn't have quite as many swoops as the Chinese written language does. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I just saw a sign and my brain was like, I don't know what the fuck that means. That's drawings. Those aren't letters, that's drawings. And anyway, so I went into this grocery store with a friend who I'm not really friends with anymore. But it just fucking stunk. Like, god damn. I walked in, and you know how, I'm in construction, so do I want to go this route? All right, you know how, let's just say any bad smell in an enclosed space, you get used to it after a while, right? So you go into, I'm trying to think of where, some place that's not disgusting that has kind of a bad smell, but that's usually what makes disgusting places disgusting, is the smell. 'Cause it smells are really offensive. They can be really offensive. So I go into this place. No, wait. I'm trying to think of an analogy. Like the only analogies that I'm coming up with are bathroom analogies, and I don't want to take it there. So let's get creative. The dentist's office, right? The dentist's office always has like a weird smell. You walk through that door, that door that's like wicked light wood, like balsa wood that you could punch through with like half strength. What is with that? They're dentists. They're rich. Anyway, they should be able to afford better doors, but it's always some shitty door that looks like it'd be a partition door and not an actual entryway into a place of business. So you walk into the door, you set foot onto their carpet, you got the little receptionist over here on the right, you got the doorway to the offices on the left, and you got the waiting room directly ahead of you, right? And the second you walk in, that weird dentist office smell, it just hits you. It's like a mix between, I'm going to make some stuff up, Novocaine. I have no idea what that smells like, but I always think that that's what I'm smelling when I go into the dentist's office. Toothpaste samples. And let's see, what other shit is there in a dentist's office? X-ray ozone. I think the X-ray machine produces ozone, so you're smelling a little bit of that too. 3 things in a dentist's office. Dentist's office smells that way. I'm going to go ahead and assume that it smells because of those 3 things. And that's what those 3 things smell like in combination. 3 things. All right, so you walk into the dentist's office. You get that weird dentist's office smell. But by the time you walk the 14 feet to the waiting room, your nose is already used to it. And it's like, okay, now I'm just in a place with air. And you don't smell it anymore. And then you go do your stuff at the dentist or whatever they do. They work on you. And then you go back out. And then you realize, oh yeah, that's right, it smelled weird in there. Because then you're smelling that normal, like, outside air. And you put it together that, wow, like, I forgot. You got used to it quick. This fucking grocery store, man, I was in there for a total of, I don't know, 15 minutes. And I just remember the first 4 minutes being like, when am I going to adjust to this smell? And it never happened. It never happened. And it was like this rotten fish / again, I'm just going to name things that were there and assume that, well, yeah, you know a fish. You know what a fish smells like. That's what it smelled like. It smelled like rotten fish. And there was just no getting used to it. 15 minutes of just, it was like I was holding a can of cat food under my nose. That's what it was like. So, that was gross. And then, I don't think there's any more real stories about that. We got some dumplings that were alright. Little pork donuts. Asian people put pork in desserts. Like it's a sweet dough. It's a sweet dough. And it's got like a sugary taste to it. There's no like frosting like we have on our American donuts, where we get it done right the first time. But it's this sweet dough, and then you eat it and you're like, oh, dessert. And then you get to the center and it's got pork in it. It's like, what the fuck is this pork doing in the middle of this donut? So anyway, so we got some of that, but that's basically the story is, Jesus Christ, why can you not adjust to that smell? Prompt 1, check. Let's see what else we got. Oh! In getting back to being calm and subdued. Just laying low. Keeping the blood pressure down. I don't usually get angry, but I find that when I do get angry, it's over really like tiny things. Like big things don't bother me. For example, I was at work the other day, and here's my normal packing up at the end of the day method. What is this? What's going on over here? So I grab all my tools, and I have like 4 things I need to keep track of: my cooler, my tool belt, a backpack filled with tools that I don't need all the time, and then a water jug. So I have like the 4 things to keep track of. And so what I do is at the end of the day, I bring all this stuff back to my van, and I put the cooler and the water jug in the front seat on the floor so that they don't tip over. And then I take my backpack full of tools and my tool belt, and I lock them up in a box that's in the back of my van. And that's pretty much every day what I do. That's how I keep my tools safe. The other day, I go to open up, I take out my cooler, I take out my water jug from the front seat, then I go around to the back of the van, and I open up that toolbox to get my tool belt and my backpack full of tools. I open up the toolbox, and it's empty. And I go, oh no, oh no. And what had happened is I had left all of my tools on the side of the road. I had gotten them ready to go into the box, and then I put them down on like a little grassy patch area. Well, I put my cooler and my water jug in the front seat, and then instead of grabbing the other stuff, the tools, let's just call them the tools. Instead of grabbing the tools and putting them in the box, I instead just drove off, leaving my tools on this grassy patch overnight. And then when it came morning time and I went to find them where they always are, they weren't there, nor were they on the grassy patch. But I put it together, I go, oh Jesus, I just left all my fucking tools out overnight, and now they're gone. And there's like, let's see, I had a nice electrical tester in there, lithium ion drill, well, a lithium ion battery and a drill, several hand tools. We're talking a couple $100 at least, like probably like $400 or $500 that I just drove away from. And I didn't get angry. I just got like, I was mad, or no, I was just disappointed how dumb that was. That didn't get me upset. As it turns out, actually, somebody across the street at one of the businesses had seen it and had pulled it inside and actually saved my tools. But the point of the story is I didn't get angry. And I'm not saying that, like, look at me, I'm such a mild-mannered, even-tempered personality. The point of the story is I get angry at stupid things. For example, the other day I was trying to turn a page. And it was something like this, where I had like the page up here or something. I forget what it was. But turning a page should take about half a second, and it took like 3 or 4 seconds, and I just lost my fucking mind. That's what gets me angry. Like shit that should take next to no time, taking a couple of seconds, just it makes me so mad. So I forget what it was. I think it was in a book, and something like a page was propped up. And so I was trying to turn the page, and maybe it was sticking together or whatever it was. And after about 3 seconds of it not working, I just threw the fucking book right on the ground and just walked away from the situation because I couldn't handle not turning the page. So to recap, losing $500 or so worth of tools, you like how it's going up with each retelling, doesn't get me mad. Not being able to turn a page in less than 3 seconds gets me super upset to the point where I physically manifest my anger. So, not ideal, but funny. Hopefully. Let's see. So that is prompt number 2. Check.